All right. Okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. Okay. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us today on the third day of Global Educators Program organized by Academy of Language Study UITM Perlis branch. It is an honor to have everyone here. Okay, so for today's webinar, we will be sharing about international collaborations, which will be explained by Ms. Fazmawati Zakaria and Mr. Badrul Hisham Ahmad. Okay, I shall start by explaining the flow of today's webinar. In a few minutes, Ms. Fazmawati will explain to us about the benefits of international collaborations, the challenges of international collaborations, and international collaborations organized by APB. After that, Mr. Badrul will share with us about English Summer Camp. Last but not least, we will have a Q&A session. So while you're listening to these wonderful speakers, if you feel that you have any questions, feel free to jot them down and ask them during the Q&A session. All right, so before we begin, please do fill in the attendance for today's webinar, which I will put in the link. I will put in the chat box now. Hold on. Okay, so this is the attendance. All right, do feel free to fill that in. All right, okay, now, okay, I would like to briefly introduce our first speaker, the respected Ms. Fazmawati Zakaria, who is an APB senior lecturer here in UiTM Perlis, sorry. She has taught English for 24 years to diploma as well as degree students. On top of that, she has also received her degree and master in TESOL. Last but not least, she absolutely loves reading and traveling. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to call upon Ms. Fazmawati to talk about international collaborations.
Right. Okay. Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. Welcome to our friends from Yangon and Mandalay University. Thank you, Mrs. Noura Hilma, for the introduction. Yeah. I would like to thank Dr. Latisha for giving me the opportunity to share my experience with all of you. Now, as mentioned by our MC just now, I will start the session by giving you the outline of my presentation. First, I will define what is international collaboration. Yeah. Second, I will explain why establishing international collaboration is important to an institution or organization. Third, I will describe what are possible challenges that an institution or organization will encounter when they participate in international collaboration. And last but not least, I will list down some possible solutions to overcome the challenges. Now, first of all, let us go to the definition first. Yeah. Now, international collaboration is all about working and bringing together people from different departments, locations, countries to achieve a common goal or an agreed outcome in a positive and mutually beneficial way. Now, to do this, we need to have positive attitude and the willingness to communicate and interact with other people. Now, why are international collaborations so important for universities, institutions, and organizations? Now, the rate of internationalization is growing rapidly with unhindered communication channels. Therefore, I think universities across the world are already seeking to make the most of the possibilities by forming global partnerships and fostering relationship with other institutions, either virtually or physically. To contribute and competing and to stay relevant, universities should promote and invest in international partnerships and collaboration. This is because they provide a huge amount of opportunities for university and staff and student alike. Successful international collaboration requires good and effective communication, creativity, friendship, flexibility, and enthusiasm. Now, there are three engagement areas that university can venture into, mainly number one, teaching, number two, research, and number three, students. The university, what they can do is they can host international conferences, co-supervise students, conduct collaborative research papers or program, co-teaching, or organize staff and students exchange. Forming international university partnerships and fostering relationships with other institutions offer a lot of benefits to academicians and researchers as well. For example, when they co-authored to write research paper with other institutions, they are able to scrutinize, debate, and share different experiences with which are essential for academic and scientific accomplishment. Now, through collaboration, the exchanging of academic ideas is made simpler and more effective. Ideas transcend borders. New ideas come when you interact with people from diverse backgrounds. Since we are living in a global world, we want to be able to think more broadly. Next, forming international university partnerships and fostering relationships with other institutions prepare students to function well in real life as well as for career in global economy. They are leaders of tomorrow, therefore they have to make informed decisions. Some are even offered opportunities for international internships. Thus, I think international collaborations can help to increase not only professional performances and opportunities, but also personal experiences. Now, what are some of the examples of opportunities of establishing international collaborations? One, share and access knowledge and skills easily. Two, increase awareness. Three, promote personal enjoyment, personal inspiration, ambition, and reputation. Four, build international social network and friendship. Five, improve communication. Six, learn and understand new culture and other nations. Seven, promote global teaching and learning experience. Eight, practice international instruction collaboration. And lastly, promote lifelong and continuous learning ability, professional development, and international information exchange. Some potential sources of challenges that an institution or organization have to endure during their international collaboration efforts are: number one, overcoming language barriers when working with people from countries where the same language is not spoken. Two, addressing issues specific to local countries. Three, cross-cultural differences. Four, faculty resistance. Five, technology failures in communicating and sharing information. And lastly, lack of resources. There are some practices that are useful to overcome challenges. I believe that, number one, we need to accept challenges. You can work on a project outside your comfort zone. Taking a project that is outside your area of specialization forces you to rely on the expertise of others. What you can do is find a mentor among the locals to guide you. Number two, cultivate personal relationships among collaborators. When you are able to foster good relations, misunderstanding and miscommunication can be avoided. Number three, stay present with all the teaching and administrative staff for regular face-to-face meetings or spend time together regularly. What I do is just I go out with them for lunch or tea break in the cafe or having discussion in the library. Talk about common interests. Make an attempt to use the mother tongue or the native speaker language whenever you have the chance to socialize with them. Number four, be flexible to deal with unexpected circumstances and changes while being there, while carrying out any given tasks. Be prepared with plan B or C ready at your disposal. Five, expect the unexpected. Just be prepared as best as you can, because teaching, staying, or traveling abroad is actually an adventure. You are most of the time caught off guard. Number six, be helpful. Volunteer to do other tasks which are not outlined by the collaborators. You can participate in staff events like team building and social activities organized by the institution. Being there, I learned how to become a jack of all trades, which I believe is very challenging, interesting, and rewarding. All right. I have very limited experience. So far, I have been invited to participate in social activities and educational programs as director to student performances, translator and editor, ambassador, of course, when you go to overseas, yeah, facilitator to students volunteer, tutor students Malay language, mentor to local teachers, and of course, this is what I like, being tourists. I am able to visit local places of interest. Now, some of the lessons that I learned when I went abroad, even though there are challenges, the benefits they provide are worthwhile. Being abroad has brought valuable professional and personal benefits. It brings positive effects to my instructional practices and broaden my worldview and cultural competency. I learn new instructional methods and approaches. I am now able to enhance my ability to work with foreign staff, community and students who are of diverse cultural needs and expectations, and I very much value working in a team. I realized that effective communication goes beyond only the spoken language. The way we use our body language, the way we touch people, the use of expressions are important to be considered when communicating with people. Identification and getting to know who your collaborators are is critical in every setting and should not be underestimated in a global international collaborations. Once a relationship is established, things will become easier and you can overcome whatever barriers that come along your way. My experience abroad exceeded my expectation, and I am thankful that I was given the chance to contribute to my department and institution. Now, these are the example of international collaborations organized by UiTM. Number one, we had program Semarak Bahasa Melayu and Bahasa Inggeris, whereby the facilitators are students, they teach BM, and the lecturers, they teach English. It was conducted in Muslim Vidya Phuket School, Thailand. It was initiated by Raja Muda Perlis and Perlis Islamic Religious and Malay Custom Council, the MIPS. The objective of this program is to upgrade the students' command in English and Bahasa Melayu as well. And number two, we had visiting fellow program. The lecturers, this is the lecturers exchange program with Universitas Islam Riau UIR, whereby students, they conduct workshops and academic discussions. The objective is to exchange ideas and offer opportunities. The third that we had is, of course, you know this, is IMPJT, whereby staff and lecturers and students are involved. Activities are sports tournament, cultural performances, and academic seminar and presentation activities. The objective of this program is to exchange ideas and compete healthily among people from different nations. Number four is we have International Scholar Webinar, talks by lecturers from different areas of expertise on a given team. We had one with you from Yangon Technological University, and the other one we had with Mandalay University of Myanmar. The objective is to exchange ideas and offer opportunities. And the last one is our English language summer camp. This is those who are involved are staff, teacher, and students. They are obviously privileged students, yeah. They are from Muslim Vidya Phuket School to UiTM Perlis branch. Their duration of stay is 2 weeks. Facilitators are APB lecturers and selected student representative councils. They are supported by Tuanku Raja Muda and MIAPS. Some of the activities are outdoor and indoor English language learning. The objective is to learn English in a fun way and to enjoy traveling to places of interest in Malaysia. I really hope that this session can give you insights on how to embrace challenges in the process of establishing networking and encourage you to embark into something that is worth venturing, international collaborations. This is because they provide a huge amount of opportunities for staff, university, and students alike. I believe successful international collaborations require good and effective communication, creativity, enthusiasm, friendship, and flexibility. Thank you so much. I'm Fazmawati Zakaria. Back to you, Mrs. Nura Hilma.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Fazmawati. Thank you so much for the insightful sharing just now. I think I'm speaking on behalf of everyone when I say that we always look forward to have international collaborations because there's just so much for us to learn and gain from, right? Okay. So hopefully with what Ms. Fazmawati has explained, we can take and implement it in the future events we have. All right. Okay. So now we will move on to Mr. Badrul. All right. Okay. So we have Mr. Badrul, who is a well-known APB lecturer here in UiTM Perlis, and he has also been teaching here for many years. He has received his degree in TESOL and Master in Applied Linguistics. Mr. Bhatt has been involved in numerous trainings and summer camps, which he will be speaking about. And among his specialties are conducting fun English conversation programs and fun English summer camps. On top of that, he is also doing a fantastic job in taking care of us PTFT lecturers. All right, so without further ado, let us welcome Mr. Badrul.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Nura Hilma, our chairperson. Good morning to fellow academia from both locals and international. And thank you, Madam Fazmawati, for basically talking basically on the international collaborations. So basically what I will do basically is to focus on what has been mentioned by Madam Fazmawati just now, and the focus will be more on summer camps. All right, so let me begin with some slides. Basically, I will show slides. Yeah, hopefully, all right, it will be ready soon. Right. All right, guys, can you see my slides?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, now we can.
Now done, yeah? Okay. All right, thank you, Nora. All right, so basically, part of international collaborations will be basically, summer camps. And basically, I've been helping our faculty with the English language summer camp as one of the facilitators for the one that we have had with our Thai counterpart. So basically, before I explain further, I just want to share the kind of experience that I've had with summer camps and training. So basically, I've been involved with summer camps since 2008, and basically that was basically like 12 years ago. So mostly my summer camps are with students from Thailand, universities from Thailand. And I've listed down PNU. PNU is Princess Narathiwat University. BSRU is Bansomdet Chopraya Rajapaksa University. And PRU is Nakhon Pathom. And I've also have with the Korat district, Nakhon Ratchasima district. We also have done basically Prince Songkhla University, summer camps. LRU is Le Rajapaksa University. I've also had an opportunity working with the Hunan University students last year. Those programs were with the university students. I have also done high school students from Thailand, and that would be Mahasarakam Demo School in 2018, as well as what we call Primary International School from Thailand, that is Anuban Satit International School, attached to the Prince Songkhla University in 2018 and 2017, basically. I've done also some trainings with, they're all English related, definitely, with some foreign parties, especially. The first I had was basically with Saudi Embassy, basically catering for a year program for Saudi students coming to Malaysia for their postgraduate studies. So they are basically fresh undergraduates with little or minimal English command. So they were here for 1 year. So we had English for IELTS basically running for 1 year. to prepare them for their postgraduate studies in Malaysia. And the list goes on. And the latest that I had basically involved with was basically with the Ministry of Education from Sri Lanka. Basically, these trainings are basically done with other parties. So I'm just one of the facilitators. Okay, so I will now talk more about our English language summer camp that we have had in UiTM Perlis, organized by basically Academy of Language Studies. And our main, what we call customer, or basically our main client would be the Muslim Wittaya Phuket School. It started in 2017 and it lasted basically 3 editions, okay? And the durations, well, I think it was between 2 weeks and 1 month, all right? So we have had the first one in 2017, and basically like what Madam Fazmawati has mentioned, it is a collaboration between the Raja Muda Foundation and basically the Majlis Agama Islam, the state's religious department as well. So we are just basically what we call the executor of the program. So I will explain further, all right, on English language summer camp. Okay, so basically involvement for this particular summer camps basically are by our English language lecturers, English language lecturers basically, as well as the administrative staff of the university. Okay, the lecturers will be handling more of the classes or the trainings. Administrative staff will be handling the administrative aspects like the accommodation. Okay, handling the accommodation for our participants, handling the welfare of our basically participants, arranging the travel itinerary, the movement from the border to the campus and everything. Okay, that would be basically the task handled by the administrative staff. We also have, okay, student volunteers. Okay, basically we started, I think the first batch the first edition, we only had like 4 student volunteers. Okay, but later when we realized that, you know, we need more, and we have added the number of student volunteers in our second and our third editions. Okay, so the mission of our English language summer camp is to basically, if you are happy, we are happy. Okay, it's all about making our clients feel at home. Okay, so our mission is basically to ensure their safety, ensuring that they have 24/7 access to us. Basically, we have facilitators, we have volunteers, and basically our volunteers are basically staying with them throughout the summer camp to assist them in any kind of in any matters or anything, basically, because I think the youngest that we have had was like 8 years old, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so and knowing them very young, so homesickness is basically one of the greatest challenge, I believe. Okay, so English language summer camp is not only basically a summer camp, but it provides a lot of opportunities. Okay, and for the faculty, basically, it has allowed us basically to come up with publications and participation in innovation competitions. English language summer camps, I believe they have won gold medal, I think, and several other medals participating in different innovation competitions. And I have also myself and basically a team of basically of the volunteers have also come up with our own papers or submission, and we have also won. Sorry, we have also won 2 awards. Basically, one is silver and one is bronze. Forgive me for the spelling error. Okay, all right. That will be the first one, opportunities for innovation competitions and publications. The second one is basically what we have for a long term, basically. It's a long-term relationship. That is what we call networking. So the beauty of having summer camp is not what we call immediate. It's basically, it is for long term. Okay, so those are basically the reasons why, English language summer camp is a very good opportunity for the faculty to venture on and make it basically a routine kind of thing for the faculty. Unfortunately, due to COVID, all right, 2020 has been rather restricted kind of thing. So hopefully 2021, when everything has basically slowed down, or the COVID has slowed down, so we can start it all over again, hopefully. All right, let me share, getting into the challenges of running summer camps. Okay, it's basically the first thing that I believe the people, the behind the scenes kind of things, basically how they have established the networking through promotions, road tours, and formal communications. And I believe that this has been done by the respected people. I think, if not mistaken, is the Office of International Affairs. All right, is the party basically that helped establish all this connection with our counterparts in Thailand. Okay. Other parties have also ensured the necessary arrangements, basically, especially the travel plans as well as the insurance. Insurance is very, very critical when you are doing all these summer camps or any what we call cross-border activities, because insurance is a very crucial thing as a protection for safety. The reason is basically I've got my own, not my own experience, but basically the group that I have, not the group that I have handled, basically the group that we have handled. I mean, in my experience, we've got one participant from Sri Lanka. Basically, when she arrived in Malaysia, she was okay, but she broke her spine while doing one of the activities in Malaysia. So she had to be transferred back to Sri Lanka on basically wheelchair and hospitalized. And I was informed that, she is having a permanent, she's going to be paralyzed for the rest of her life. But luckily, having the insurance covered and everything, so the medical part is taken care of, and basically arrangement was basically made very easily because of that. So the challenges is basically ensuring all these things are basically taken care of before we had everything. All right, and for our part, basically, we have to ensure that the program runs smoothly. All right, how do we do that? We understand our clients' needs, understanding what they really need or what they basically require and everything. Next, making them feel at home all the time and basically ensuring safety, all right, during all activities. All right, so the components of the English language summer camp that we had, basically, we were focusing on fun learning. It's all about fun, all right? Because we know that they are basically from foreign country and being far away from home. How do you get them to focus on the activities? Is basically making them have a lot of fun learning experience. Okay, and we have also included components like educational visits. We have also have leisure activities, hands-on experience. Okay, things that they are trying for the first time. All right. We also we have injected historical tours about our country that basically as an added value to the experience coming to Malaysia. We have definitely included entertainment and shopping in the list, because wherever you go, all right, the last two items are the things that people are looking forward to, especially. All right, let's move on to the first component that we've had for our students. We try our best to ensure fun lessons. So we are not letting them basically, we are not allowing or asking them to sit down all the time. It's not chalk and ball all the time. It's basically very active, very engaging activities. Okay, they have to be on very active all the time. They have to do their own group work. We have a variety of activities that require a variety of activities that require them to be involved actively. They have to be doing physical activities and whatnot. Okay. We also have if you see at the bottom center, you have the puppet. We also have a puppetry element in our lessons. Just to all these activities are meant to basically to let them have fun, to learn, as well as to be creative and imaginative in their learning. All right. We are not teaching them grammar. We are not teaching them what we call common classroom syllabus, because they have done that in Thailand or in their own country. So what we are basically focusing on is basically application of the knowledge and basically how they learn by doing things. Okay, because we believe that fun, engaging lessons, okay, would be basically long lasting. Okay, so the second activity the second type of activities that we have would be educational visits. So during the summer camp itself, we basically had visits to schools outside the campus, and also visits to the uniform bodies. We have been to the primary schools and also the secondary schools, so that they can see the kind of learning environment that they have in Malaysia, and compare that basically to their own experience in Thailand. Okay, so the lower age group goes to the primary, and the higher ones go to the secondary, and they were basically activities conducted by the schools for our Thai students. Okay, as for the uniform bodies, we do have visits to the fire brigade and civil defense. So basically letting them experience what these uniform bodies do in their daily life. Okay, so basically they learn how to the experience being on the fire truck, being on the vehicles that are basically utilized by these uniform bodies. Okay, so let them experience for the civil defense, basically they are also experiencing with some of the wildlife, but it's all under scrutiny by the authority. Okay, so they basically see how or the kind of things that the civil defense have basically got. I think they had not close encounter, but they see the kind of snakes that are basically handled by the civil defense team. Okay. Next, during the summer camp, we also ensure that in the evening and morning, we have leisure activities, right? We have recreational activities, we have sports, we have Zumba, and we have also aerobic classes organized by basically or handled by our facilitators or our volunteers, because our volunteers are basically from they come from the various faculties. Okay, so we do have the sports recreational students becoming our volunteer, so they are able to conduct all these aerobics classes. We also provide them with facilities like the sports complex and access to sporting equipments like footballs and everything, so that they have their own recreational activities during their free time. Okay, so they are not basically just limited to the classroom activities. So they are free to utilize the campus basically for their recreational activities. Next, for leisure, we also have the cultural elements. We have basically planned some cultural activities for them. The first one is basically by themselves, meaning their own preparation for their own performances. So basically, they are practicing the cultural activities for their own performance during their graduation night. So we have basically planned or basically organized activities like choral speaking, drama, cultural dance, poem recitation, and songs. And basically, these are done by the students under the supervision of the facilitators. Okay, besides their own performances, we also take them to cultural shows so that they learn the cultural the cultural dances that are available in Malaysia. So it's not just summer camps go beyond classroom environment. Okay. The next element that they love, I believe, so much was basically the fun hands-on experience. Okay, we had activities. So basically, we brought our students to Domino's Pizza and let them experience making their own pizza. So the staff basically, guide them step by step, okay, on how to produce their own pizza, right? So you can see in the photos, they were basically doing the dough and, putting on the sauce and 7 pieces of pepperonis for each pizza, okay, right? But I'm sure some of them has put a little bit more, right? Okay, and basically, and then putting them in the box, basically, and cutting them. So everything is basically hands-on. We also have them basically attending a cultural show. In one of the tourism center in Malaysia. Okay, that was when we brought the students to Kuala Lumpur. All right. So they experienced living in the city and basically learning the culture, learning how to dance the joget, or basically the most common dance in Malaysia, that would be joget. So they are basically doing that. All right. So all this is basically, a life experience, and the best teacher would be the life experience, I believe. So enriching them with all these experiences would be basically a rewarding experience for them, definitely. All right. So we have also, all right, besides in-class activities or basically on-campus activities, we do bring them for historical tours. Basically, we had one in Penang, and the first one we had was basically Penang. Then we also have the local historical visit that is in Perlis near the campus, and the third one that we had is basically slightly further from our campus, is basically Kuala Lumpur. So we were basically visiting our own basically local historical sites in Perlis. The second one we went to Penang, and the third one is basically Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so if you can see the picture, that the right hand corner would be a visit to Penang Hill, taking the funicular train going up the Penang Hill. The bottom right would be a visit to the National Palace, all right, the Istana Negara, or the King's Palace. So on the top left would be the cultural show that they attended, all right, and the bottom left would be basically a historical building in Penang. It's one of the colonial buildings in Penang, one of the famous buildings in Penang. All right, so we also had them, all right, or basically we have also organized a trip to Kuala Lumpur, okay, because it's basically showcasing what Malaysia has to offer to our foreign students, right? Because the environment that they have in our campus is different than the one in Kuala Lumpur. So having this KL or Kuala Lumpur trip is basically an eye-opening kind of trip, because it shows them, a different view of the country. All right. Okay. So we had this visit. So we went to KL Tower. We went to the historical building in Kuala Lumpur as well. All right. So all this is basically part of the English language summer camp. Okay. All right. So depending on what the budget is, we can also plan other possible activities for our summer camps, right? And these are the things that we have I've done with other groups. We can plan all this basically. So our counterparts from Myanmar, basically you can always plan something similar to our campus or to our country, and we are very, very lucky if you will basically you were to come and have a trip to us, just like a visit to UiTM Arau, so that we can have something like this later. You can never know. All right. Okay. The last thing that we had basically for our English language summer camp is the graduation. Okay, and basically the graduation is attended by His Royal Highness, basically the Raja Muda, the Crown Prince, and basically during the graduation we also organize an exhibition. The exhibition is basically showcasing the summer camp students' work, their artwork, their projects throughout the 2 weeks or 1 month duration. So basically, all these works are highlighted and during this graduation night for the guests to see their progress. Okay, and this is one of them. Exhibition. Another thing that we highlighted during this graduation night is their performances. Okay, we have got choral speaking, we've got drama, we've got dance and cultural dance as part of the performances by our students. Okay. Before I end, I just would like to highlight that our Academy of Language Studies have also done another training before the summer camp, and that was with Prince Songkhla University. Okay, it was in 2016. Okay, it's a very brief one, just for 5 or 6 days, and basically we welcome the head of departments and the senior lecturers from Prince Songkhla University, and they are here for English language training. And basically, it is a very small event, but it was basically a very meaningful experience because the networking continues until now. So hopefully we can have our international, members, okay, our international collaborators can join in and basically collaborate with UiTM Perlis or APB, all right, for future activities. All right, with that, I thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Bat, for sharing with us your experience. I myself am a huge fan of English programs and camps, especially if it involves other people from other parts of the world. So hopefully, when the pandemic subsides, we can have more English camps and trainings that have obviously been proven to be beneficial and meaningful for the students. All right. Okay. So since both of the speakers have already shared their experience with us, we will now move on to the Q&A session. All right, so if anyone has any questions or inquiries, or they want to know more about anything, feel free to ask in the chat box, and our speakers will be more than happy to answer them. Do we have any questions? All right, so we have one by Miss Tin Moi. Very interesting, enjoyable. My questions are: what kinds of activities are included in student volunteer tasks? And can you share one example of innovation of competitions? Okay, so if Mr. Bat or Ms. Fazmawati would like to answer, please feel free to do so.
All right, thank you, Prof. Doctor, for the question. Okay, for the volunteers, okay, student volunteers. Okay, the student volunteers are responsible to basically be with the students throughout the summer camp. And what we mean by throughout, basically, they are basically staying together, all right, in the with the students, basically, because we assign, for example, a group of 3 students to a room. Okay, and basically they will be staying in the same hostel area, and there will be one room for the female student volunteer and one for the male student volunteer to handle. All right, so basically they are staying together with their students. So their task is basically to make sure that number one, basically punctuality. All right, ensuring that they are ready, they would wake up for the classes, getting ready for their breakfast and everything. So they are the student volunteers accompanying. They were basically accompanying the participants throughout the activities. And when we had the trip, we took them because they are basically handling the participants as well. Even for what we call emergency cases, they were the first to know because they were together with the students. They were the one also the first person to handle any homesickness. All right, because the 7-8-year-olds, all right, the first day, that was only the first and second day, Prof. Okay, they forgot about Thailand during on the third day. All right, only the first and second day they will be crying. All right, come the end, they would not want to go back. Okay, but again, these volunteers are basically knowing them much closer than us. I mean, the instructors, because we meet them, during class time and during other activities. But they were with the students all the time. Okay, all right. For the innovation competition, I can share you one. Okay, so basically the thing that I did was the focus is on student volunteering in Fun English summer camp programs, talking about how we can develop student volunteering as part of what we call added value as to a graduate. Okay, basically they are not graduating with a degree, but they are also graduating with all these voluntary or basically soft skills, right, to make them become more employable, right? So we talk about the journey that they had. The one basically I was involved with 4 that were with me for a period of almost 2 years. I had them basically helping me with my summer camps outside the campus as well, and let them experience working with different clientele. So some of them had experience working with the international schools. Some of them had program with the China students from China, basically, and also a few basically a varied kind of customers, so that they can see the differences in the clientele that they're having. Because the Thai and the Chinese students, definitely they had different cultural and social backgrounds and everything. So they learn a lot. And fortunately, alhamdulillah, they are basically they're all pursuing their degree now. All right, and hopefully they will, when they graduate, they will become better individuals and have better employability chances and everything. Okay. As for the other type of competition, I think Madam Fazmawati can explain further, because I think they had submitted a few. I think Fazmawati, Faz, can you share ELSC if you can on the competition? Yes.
Yes,
The
we
innovation.
did
Yeah.
have one competition when we put forward this program, English Language Summer Camp, and we won gold for that competition. What I did and my colleague did basically is just to explain what is the objective of the summer camp program and how we go about conducting the summer program in UiTM Police Branch. So for that innovation, it's supposed to be what Mr. Badru had already explained to us. we just explain what are the activities that they have to do, yeah, the places of interest that they went, and what are the benefits that the students have gathered. Plus, obviously, I think part of the reason why we won gold is because all the judges are very surprised when they listen that we generate a lot of income to UiTM Perlis. I think that is part and parcel why we won that gold. Yeah. All right. There's another question by put forward by Mr. Muhammad Izwan. Is it possible for summer camps to be conducted online? I think this is new since this COVID-19 epidemic. Yeah, I think we can, anything is possible nowadays. Yeah. How to go about doing it? Maybe I'm not well versed with it, but I think we can do it. What we can showcase is just show the potential clients about the places of interest, I think, yeah, and that we have in Malaysia, and what are the activities outlined for them if they were to be in our program, yeah. And then there's a question by Dr. Rosalina. What are the initial steps of UiTM staff have to take when establishing international collaborations? Yes, I think for us, Academy of Language Studies in UiTM Perlis branch, I think our program, summer camp program is just very easy for us to do. Why? Because the networking has been established earlier on by Office of International Affairs. During that time, the head of Office International Office is chaired by Cik Muhammad Izwan, the person who asked the question. Yeah. So our journey is very simple. What we have to do is just to organize whatever activities that we have planned for our clients. So we don't have any problems except for the challenges that has been mentioned by me and Cik Badrul just now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Faz. Basically, just an update on the question on why we are not organizing online. Basically, for your information, attempts have been made. Because my involvement in summer camps does not only cover UiTM, but basically I'm involved with an outside team as well. That's how I got started. All right, and basically, like what Madam Fazmawati mentioned, establishing networking, everything. Yes, it's true. Once it is established, that it will be very fast moving. But the thing is, how do you establish basically? You know, when I started like in 2008 with the first project, we got it after 2 years of marketing, right? Because back then, social media is not that yet. It's not really up to the current use yet. Okay, so it's all about, and it's not that famous back then. So we had to approach and marketing and do marketing for close to 2 years, right? But once it is established, yes, you can do it. Once you've got your networking ready, you can come up with a variety of programs because you have developed the trust. Okay, and the possibility of online has been discussed. Unfortunately, it's not working or it's not developing properly. The reason is there's still the lack of personal touch. Okay, that was the feedback that we have had with discussions with our counterpart. They would love, they love to be physically here on our Malaysian soil. Unfortunately, all right, COVID is still around. That will be the first one, the personal touch. And number two is basically what we call, the first one is personal, the second one is physical. They have to be there. And the third is basically ensuring what we call understanding. Basically, it's not easy for you to basically see everybody participating in your activities if you're doing virtual classroom kind of thing, right? Just like when we are having our own ODL, open distance learning class, you can't really feel the presence of every member. So that would be seriously, personally, it's a no-no when we have a summer camp, because it defeats the purpose, right? You are not engaging your students, as simple as that. All right. I've got a question, I think, from Professor So. Specifications. Maybe Fasmawati, can you respond to that question? Specification for this ELSC. I'm not sure what the specs that you are looking for actually. What are the specs that you're referring to?
Okay. As I used to be the head of Academy of Language Studies, what we actually do is we just receive information and instruction from our rector, and then we just do the program. Yeah, and for students, volunteers, and teachers, okay, for this one, normally what we'll do is for the selection of volunteers, most students are willing to volunteer even with or without pay. That one I believe is true. But what we want is students who possess certain qualities and personalities apart from their academic performance, which is supposed to be very good, academic achievement, yeah. Okay, what we normally do is we ask the head of the department of every faculty to nominate certain names, and these students, selected students, they have to go on a selection interview. We will interview them, question us about their personalities, yeah. And then because we want our students to act as ambassadors. They have to possess certain qualities that is suitable for an ambassador, yeah. And the same goes with the lecturers. So we what happened is we ask for volunteers. Why? Because this kind of project, English summer camp, requires all the 100% commitment from all lecturers as well as students. So we want volunteers who can really contribute to the department and to the university as a whole. I hope that one answers your question.
Thank you so much, both of you.
Yep.
Welcome, Prof.
Okay, so do we have any more questions? Oh, I actually have a question. I saw that Mr. Butt, you have not just Mr. Butt, but the APB have created programs which involve younger learners, right? So was there any challenges in terms of language barrier because they're quite young, or do the students have to be proficient in English for them to be participate in the programs?
But okay,
Nura, are you referring to our participants?
Yes, the participants.
Okay, thank you for the question. Okay, Nura, basically, knowing the reasons why they are here. Okay, there are two reasons. Number one is basically for exposure to the language, and number two is for the travel. Okay, right. So we do have students who came in with very minimal English. All right, very minimal. Okay, and basically the first few days is basically the most challenging part, because it's number one is understanding the differences in basically the accent between the Thai accent and the Malaysian accent. So is number one is understanding that. Okay, all right. And number two is understanding the importance of repetitions. Okay, all right. Everything that we say is basically has to be repeated. So repetition has become part of the activities. and doing, basically including actions. Okay, besides that, we also include actions in our verbal expression to describe to them what it actually means. All right, because we have some learners, and basically we are teaching them basic vocabulary. So one way to do it is basically doing, okay, the actions so that they can understand the new word. Okay, fortunately for us, we do have teachers. Okay, there are teachers accompanying them to these summer camps, and when there is a need for that, a need for translator, we do engage their instructors to help with the translation. Okay, but after a while, the lecturers, the lecturers, the facilitators, and the students, they were communicating and basically repeating the words so that everybody can understand each other. Okay, with minimal assistance by the accompanying lecturers or teachers from Thailand. Yeah, that would be my experience. Faz, do you have some other experience with these students?
All right. Basically, I also experienced the same thing. Yeah. We have to seek help from the lecturers. Another thing that we can do is to engage the students volunteers, yeah, to help us, because they are, I think basically they are kind of a similar age, like brothers and sisters to all these kids, yeah. So they have the necessary vocabulary to approach this younger generation. All right. Like what I did is to the younger for the problem that we experience with the younger clients, they are homesick. So what we can do is, as yeah, obviously I have children on of my own, so I have to counsel, comfort them, slow talk to them, and then I think the first first and second day they are homesick, and then later on, once they get into the move of doing all the activities and with the guidance from the student volunteers, they are okay, right? Another thing that you can do is to engage the much more proficient adult learners to explain to the younger kids, yeah. So with this summer camp group, I found that some are very good and some are weak, yeah. Some are very good because I think because of their exposure to the language in their homeland, English language, what I meant, yeah. So the younger kids, they have less or limited exposure to English. They just learn English, I believe. I think that's the case. Yeah. Okay. Hope that one answered.
Yes, yes, it definitely did answer my question. Thank you. Okay. Does anyone else have any more questions to ask? Yeah. Okay. So we have an insight from Ms. Serena. She said that innovation, novelty of our program, what makes our program different from others, benefits of to the participant, teachers, students. Those are the things that we should include in innovation. Yes, that's right. I totally agree with that. Oh, we also have a question from Madam Nazira. What are the possible activities for a collaboration that involve university students?
I can respond if possible. I can just share my thoughts on this. Okay, this question by Nazira. Okay, I think there are two possible activities that we can have at the university students level. Okay, number one. Okay, besides summer camp. Okay, it will be first basically communication, business communication activities. okay, teaching them basic business communication. Okay, because if we are focusing on what we call graduating students, we can let them, have this business communication skills. Okay, specifying for job employment and whatnot. Okay, so that they are able to, face the real life once they graduated. The second possible activity would be what I've done basically. I've been involved with one leadership conference. Okay, all right, leadership conference, and the focus is basically on leadership, culture, and language for the ASEAN, Southeast Asian countries. Okay, it was in 2019. All right, so basically it involves students from Malaysia, from Thailand, and from the Philippines and Brunei. So when we talk about university students, that would be another possible activity that we can arrange or basically collaborate on, because these are the future leaders of our nation and basically our region. So that is a possible one, leadership conference or leadership symposium, focusing on leadership, language, and culture. Okay, that is a possibility. Okay, I've given, those were two possibilities. Maybe Faz has some other ideas to be shared.
All right. This is what we actually do for ESP courses. Yeah. We design specialized courses for our clients. So what we can do here is just to collaborate or collaborate in the sense of discuss with them what are the areas that they want to be involved with us. So we can provide whatever that they need, provided that we have the capability. Yeah. So I think we can design special courses for them, like what Encik Bat mentioned just now. Yeah, English for business. When they graduated later on, it's much more easier for them. Yeah, to embark in business maybe. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Bat and Madam Fasmawati, for explaining those. Okay. Yeah, there are lots of collaboration that can be done that involve university students. And UiTM have done some already. Yeah, maybe if you want to explain more about what UiTM Perlis have done involving university students, you can feel free to share about that. Mr. Bat or Ms. Fasmawati or even Mr. Izwan himself can explain more about that.
Mr. Izwan, do you want to contribute your ideas? Because you were once the head of Office of International Affairs. You deal with so many, institution and organization outside UiTM Perlis branch. Yes, welcome, Mr. Izwan.
Thank you. Actually, I'm in a car on highway to the embassy of Italy. But it's a good sharing, and it's good. I'm so happy to know that the collaborations that I initiated many years ago is still continuing, and you're still doing it with a lot of improvements. Basically, to respond to Puan Nazira's question, there are actually a lot of collaborations can be done for university students, and UiTM Perlis has involved in many of them. One of it is to invite them and do their practical industrial training in university. One of the collaborations that we have done with Universitas Islam Riau from Indonesia, and they have they came to us and did their industrial training with some of the faculties in Perlis, in UiTM. What we can do is that by having these students, we can also, APB in particular, can take the opportunity to conduct English training program specifically to the students, because of most of them majoring in other fields. So whether they are from the Faculty of Agriculture or science or sports science or sports and recreation or whatever, but they still have to learn English language. That is one of the collaborations that you can start to initiate, so that the foreign university can see that we have very good facilities and also very good facilitators and lecturers who can conduct those trainings, so that as Mr. Badrul mentioned, he took about 2 years to promote a summer camp to foreign universities or foreign parties. So it won't take 1 or 2 months to see the result. So that is the first step. Then the second step, probably you can engage with the university so that you can have the training. The students to come only for English language. There are more actually, a lot of opportunities, but we have to think about something new. New way of engaging with international or foreign universities and students with this pandemic. And I believe that the effect will take like a few years to recover. There are some others, like Mr. Badrul have explained just now, symposium. We have also conducted symposium between UiTM Perlis and 2 universities from Thailand and 2 universities from Indonesia. So basically, we have final year students who they will present their final year project or findings of their thesis or whatever, so that it is an eye opener to them, and to show that actually it is possible for their paper or their thesis to be presented internationally. So that will encourage them to write and to involve more in international activities. There are actually a lot, but we have to do the brainstorming, and it's possible. And if I can also respond to the Dr. Razlina, she asked about the papers. Alhamdulillah, during my time, it was quite easy to be approved because of the relationship or the collaboration that we had with Muslim Witaya School. During it was good, and they really trust us. So what we gained during the first season of summer camp, due to actually contributed by sponsors, we didn't realize that actually we managed to secure 7,000 or 10,000 of sponsorship from Majlis Agama Islam. and at the same time we also, the participants also paid fee. I don't remember how much, but then that's why we learned a lot from the first summer camp. It is not easy to get the trust as mentioned by Mr. Badrul. So it takes time. You have to be patient, and you need to invest to make sure that the other party trusts you, and then they will invest on the training, because you cannot see the results immediately. I think that's all. If I may suggest, I've planned, but did not manage to execute it because of I left UiTM just before I prepared the paper. Another thing is that I was about to propose last time to Thai students to come and stay with our students on campus. To encourage them to interact in English. Because of they speak Thai most of the time, I think in their life. So when they come and stay with our students, so it is like Abah Angkat or Adik Angkat. So that one will encourage them to speak English probably for 1 month. And I think that there are students who are, the Thai students who are interested to join. But unfortunately, I left before it was done. So it was just like quiet.
Thank you so much, Mr. Izwan, for your suggestion. I think your loss is our gain. We will try to carry out your ideas we discuss with our Dr. Latisha and how to go about carry out that discussion. Thank you, Mr. Izwan, for your suggestion. Hope you have a nice day.
Thank you, thank you.
Do you have any more questions to ask? If not, let me end the session. Dr. Latisha?
Okay. Right. So I have to mute. I muted Izwan. Izwan, I'm so sorry. Later on, I will put you. I wouldn't mute you. Okay. So the question I would be responding would be to Prof. So yes. We do the innovation after our international collaboration. But what you need to do will be, before you do anything, you got to plan. So what I need to do would be, usually what we did before any international collaboration, we need to maximize everything. So before we did that, we plan what will be the innovation, what would be the publication, right? Because that's the product. Because we want, and definitely it's better before you do anything during let's say during any international collaboration, you would already prepare the questionnaire, right? If you want to have sort of a simple survey or ask feedback. Because why? Because all the feedback, it would be very handy when you want to enter the innovation, right? Or if you want to do the publication later on. So when we do any collaboration, what we need to do will be, what will be the outcome? We need to have publication. We need to have research. I think that for I think we have the summer camp this year. We sent 3 papers to Japan, right? And during the discussion I think in the Young Learner Conference, some of the participants were very interested. So we plan to have some sort of like online conference. Online, let's say online, yes, summer camp. So we're talking about the dance. So we hope we can at least share or telecast live about the dances, the traditional dances, because we are dealing with young learners. Why don't we, why, if you ask me why sometimes we focus on the young learners, because sometimes we got to differentiate our market, because we are very good with tertiary students, tertiary learners. So if we just compete with tertiary learners market, then we would be, let's say, saturated. So we go for young learners at least. And after this, we plan to go and study autistic students. So at least we would have increased our diversity, right? And sometimes, and another thing would be, we are looking for to bring international educators to our classroom. So meaning that might be we would ask associate professor so to be in our classroom. At least my student will be very excited to see you, right? And I'll be teaching your class, or might be I'm not sure, maybe for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes, because I don't want to leave you with them for a long time. They might not want to come back to me. Right. So that would be anytime that you want to do it. If you want to do any international collaboration, you have to plan what will be the outcome. And you must maximize the outcome. There will be mobility, staff mobility, student mobility, publication, and innovation. So I think that if I can maximize everything, then apart from I make sure that everyone in the team will benefit something, right? So that's my opinion.
All right, thank you, Dr. Latisha. I think we have had such a fruitful discussion. Everyone has shared their experience and their knowledge, and hopefully in the years or in the months to come, we can create more beneficial summer programs that involve other international students. All right, okay, so if there's no more questions, I think we can end this seminar now. Right? Okay. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for participating. We truly enjoy having everyone here. We've had such a good discussion. And please do feel free to join our other webinars that we have throughout the week today. If you're free, because we have more amazing speakers that are eager to share their experience and knowledge. Okay, so that is all for today. Thank you, everyone. Take care and stay safe.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Badro.
Welcome. Thank you, Jefferson. Thank you, Prof.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, our Myanmar counterparts.
Yes, thank you, Prof. Associate Professor So. Thank you, Prof. Fin. All right. Thank you, Adi Afzal. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye. I'm going to stop recording.
Have a nice day, everybody.
Thank you.